everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today we're doing a mystery mani on one of my clients. If you guys aren't familiar with what a mystery mani is, it's basically when my client gives me full creative control. They get to choose their base, so this client chooses builder. They get to choose their length and shape, but the design is 100% up to me, which is so fun. I have a few of these posted on my channel. If you want to watch more of them, I will link one of them in the cards above. But today's mystery mani is what I like to call a mood board mystery mani. So I've basically found a bunch of images on Pinterest that I like together. One may put them on a mood board, and then I create nails based off of those images. Now the images aren't going to be nail images, they're going to be random things. So you'll see them. I'm going to pop them up on the screen as I am doing the nail that they correspond to, so you can get an idea of where I'm kind of going with things. But this is something I've done this before a little while ago, and I've just started doing it more in mystery manis, and it's proven to be quite popular amongst my clients. So I'm hoping to incorporate it even more because it's a really fun way for me to just like get creative and like not rely on, I don't know, typical nail ideas, if that makes sense. Like I'm basing my inspiration off of like, say, a pair of shoes. So I'm finding creative ways to incorporate the vibe of those shoes or the photo of the shoes into a nail. So it's really, really fun for me. So we've started off by removing my client's last set, and now we're just working on prep. We've done the cuticles, all that bit. My client doesn't actually have much dried cuticle or anything that needs to be removed. So it's just a quick kind of cleanup in that regard. And now I'm just shaping them up, taking off a bit of length, but not much. And then just going over the entire nail with a sanding band, low speed, light pressure, touching the natural nail, and then just going over the remaining gel on the nail, which I treat these more of like a fill / rebalance. So I do leave quite a bit of gel polish on the nails, or hard gel in her case, and then I fill that in with a new layer of hard gel. Now is the time when I also, if I have any lifting, I'm just using my sanding band to get that off as well. It's a little, I try and sometimes use my removal bit to get a bit of the lifting off, but I find it to be more gentle with the sanding band when you get down to like the fine pieces. So I'm just going over with a base coat after the nails are all wiped up. I've been using the American Creator when it comes to hard gel, and they kindly sent me over this product as well as the base coat. So when I'm using the American Creator hard gel, I'm gonna use the American Creator base as well, just because I know they work together, they're made together, so I'm sure. And I definitely have used other base coats with this product and it's been just fine, but I may as well make use of them, and they pair very well together. So just using those. And I'm just doing a little bit of a fill, applying a slip layer to the nail, and then once that's fully applied, I'll go back in with a bead of the hard gel, working one finger at a time. I'm not showing you guys, but I'm doing one finger, then swapping to the other hand, doing the other finger, swapping back, in and out of the light to keep things moving, and then using my little liner brush there to like fill in any gaps, smooth everything out, so that way filing is a little bit less intensive. If I can perfect the shape as much as possible while I'm applying the gel, it'll make my life easier when it comes to filing. But I am using the MG Art peel, they're not called the peel and stick files, I think they're called the replaceable files. Using those and then giving the nail a buff over after I've finished filing, just to smooth out any rough edges. I do go in with a base coat after this, but I do like to use that buffer just to get anything, I don't know, get any weirdness out. While I'm filming this or doing this voiceover, I'm just currently -20 out in Toronto. It is quite cold, so I feel like we're all just like trying to hibernate at the moment. I'm at my studio between clients doing this voiceover, and I'm like, it's quite warm in my studio, so I'm pretty lucky, but I could go for a nap right now, snuggled up under some blankets, would be perfect. This is the Nail Thoughts Clear Builder Base. I love this, acting as a thin base coat on top of product. I mean, I use this as a builder as well, but when it comes to situations like this where I just need a thin base coat going over top of a hard gel or a builder or something, this is the product I usually reach for. And then actually someone on my Substack asked if I could do a post all about products that I use and like the ones that I use in many ways. And I feel like the Nail Thoughts Builder Base is the perfect product to start off with, because that's a product I use in like a million different ways and for a million different things. So if you're not already subscribed to my Substack, I have that linked in my description box. Feel free to check it out. I have free posts that go up, but then there's also a paid option as well. And in the paid option, you can join in the chat with other nail enthusiasts. We basically just like chat, talk about products, answer each other's questions. If you're having any difficulties with anything, people are always chiming in. So it's a great time over there. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my Substack so far. I hope you're enjoying it, because I'm really enjoying doing it. Okay, so as you can see, this set is colorful. I mean, what did you really expect? It's so fun. So I'm just going in with a plethora of different colors, all of which will be linked down below, because I can certainly not remember any of the names of any of them off the top of my head right now. Lots of them are numbers too. This one's by Blanc de Bleu though. Look at the coverage on that. Blanc de Bleu makes some great gels. I don't know if on Sweetie they're a Canada exclusive, but if they're not, I mean Canadians, try them out if you haven't yet. I really, really like them. I am a brand ambassador for Sweetie Nail Supply too, so you can get 10% off using code Rebecca. So I'm throwing the photos up on the screen now so you can watch what I'm doing and how I'm kind of getting into where I want to be. So doing a little airbrush striping to resemble the hair. I'm starting off with my airbrush because a lot of these, the airbrushing is going to be like the base of the nails. So starting off with that before I move into anything else. And I think if you guys are looking for some info, I think try doing something like this. Try doing a mood board mani. It's a really nice way to like kind of flex your creative muscles. It's really fun. So some nails are going to be more simple than others, you'll see, and then some nails I'm going to add on top of it. But I think the nice thing with doing a mood board mani, when there's so much going on and it's going in so many different directions, sometimes it is nice to keep things a little bit more simple so you get to like see everything rather than like having to focus on a trillion details on each nail. And I found that I often tend to lean a little bit simpler with the mood board manis while I'm doing them, just so, I don't know, everything feels a little bit like no one feels like the star of the show, if that makes sense. I'm capping in the airbrush. On this thumb I'm using a chrome gel to cap in the airbrush. On the other nails, I'm just using the clear builder from Nail Thoughts. There she is again, you know? She's a jack of all trades. I'm just doing some like cheetah print. I'm kind of resembling, usually I do my cheetah print a little bit differently than this, but I'm mimicking what's on the nail, or on the lips on that person. And we're doing a little swirl number here to resemble the tights. I love a swirl. I feel like I do them so often. I need to like tone it down sometimes because I feel like clients are like, okay, we've had enough of your swirls, Rebecca. It's like my default setting. I'm like, should we incorporate a swirl? They're just so cute. And then we're doing some plaid nails, and I mean a plaid nail. So I'm starting off with like a glass black here to do the base, or this is a syrup black, to do the base lines, and then flash curing those. And then moving on to the next lines. And with plaid nails, it's really all about layering. In hindsight, I'm gonna put down some yellow lines, and I wish I did those first and layered the sheer black over top, because I think that would be cool also. But you can really do them in whatever order you want. So this nail, I'm putting a top coat on it right now. Sorry, that was quick, but I was putting a top coat on it because of the design that's to come. And there's no stars in this set, or in this photo, but you know, sometimes I can't resist a crystal star. And I am top coating as I'm going. So this nail's done, so I'm top coating it, because there are products like chrome acrylic that I'm gonna be using where I don't want any cross contamination. I'm doing a little flip to self-level everything, get a little bit more of a glassy finish. For line work, if you have a super long liner brush, it absorbs some of the shakes of your hands and some of the wiggles of the brush, so I do recommend that. This one's not super long, so I'm just trying to be as steady as possible. My brush collection desperately needs an overhaul because all of my long brushes are bent. Then I'm just applying a white pearly chrome on top of this one to give it kind of that pearlescent shine that you can see on the guitar there. And capping in my crystals with some McCart rhinestone gel. You guys know I do that all the time, and I definitely recommend you do too. Be sure to put a layer over top of your whatever you want to cap in. I know some people don't cap in crystals fully, but like, you know, my people, they're heavy-handed. They need everything to be capped in. I hope you can just hear my belly rumbling. And then we're doing a crystal heavy nail for this nail to represent those tooth gems, which are so cute. I unfortunately don't have colorful stars, so we had to go colorful in all the other crystals and then do clear stars. I used to have a massive star crystal on one of my teeth. It took up like almost my entire tooth years ago. It was really cute. And then I popped it off before my brother's wedding because I also had a mullet at the time. And I was like, you know what? My brother and his wife and the family probably don't appreciate my aesthetic as much as I do. Mullet and massive crystals on my teeth. I'm just going in here with some of the Cocoist Accessory Bond in black, and I'm just mapping out very lightly a heart first, and then I'm gonna go over and thicken up those lines. I'm using this product because it works with chrome. I'm gonna apply chrome on top. And while that cures, I'm top coating in all those crystals. I do find that the zombie top is pretty good at holding in crystals, so I'm not going over the top with those with rhinestone gel. I'm just top coating them in after, I've applied a decent layer of the rhinestone gel to the base that I've stuck them into. And then I'm doing a bit of a layering effect to mimic the look on the actual photo. So I chromed the heart first, now I'm going back over with more of the black gel, doing the star design, and then once that's cured, I'm going to chrome over top of that, and then you actually get like a nice looking layered effect. So that's cured, and I'm just going over top of that and then dusting it off with my little triangle sponge. And then adding a few more beads because, you know, we love a good bead. And then anywhere I apply chrome, I always file that nail, just to make sure. And I'm going in with the Young Nails Gloss Gel Top Coat, because I love that for chrome. I did just get a new bottle, because I do find by the time I get to almost the end of the bottle, I don't know, it starts acting up a little bit. So we just got a fresh jar of that, and I'm very happy. And then I have black and green decanted on my palette there. And I'm just pouring some clear acrylic into those to make them a little bit thicker and a little bit more pasty. And then I'm taking the black and I'm drawing a star onto the nail. And I'm gonna do an acrylic pour over top of that because I want it to be textured. So adding the acrylic into the paint will help kind of create a nicer base for that, and it makes it a bit easier to paint, to be honest. And then I'm going to do an acrylic pour over the top before curing. And you want to make sure that there's no wet bits. If you can see shiny paint, you need to add more acrylic. And then I'm going to tap off the finger to get off any excess before I get my client to put her hand in the light. And then after it's out of the light, I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to scrub it down, get off any of that excess, and then I'm going to go in with the green and do sort of an outline of the star. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing again. Once I'm done outlining, I'm going to do more acrylic pour over this section. And same thing, I'm trying to make sure that there's no shiny bits because that means that it's not saturated enough. And then cure that and then scrub her on down. And here we have it. Here's the finished set. Let me know what you guys think about a mood board mani, and I will catch you in the next video.